Today, the Supreme Court refused to hear an appeal of the Trump administration's ban on bump stocks. This is a huge mistake. It's also a mistake for Second Amendment supporters to let this one go without outcry. Here's why. There are 3 reasons this bump stock ban is dangerous and wrong. Number 1, this is gun confiscation, and without compensation, no less. It's not even a mandatory buyback program. You bought that bump stock legally? Well, now the government is telling you you have to destroy it or turn it over to the government, and you get no compensation for it. You suffer the monetary loss. Or what? Or else you're a crook, a felon, or they take it away at the point of the government's gun. The penalty for possession of a bump stock now is 10 years in prison. For perspective, it's only 5 years for bringing a loaded rifle to an elementary school. But if you don't chop up your bump stock, you could do double that time. That's creepy. Number 2, what's the justification for this ban, you might be asking? Well, the Trump administration has reclassified bump stocks as machine guns, which is ignorant. Even Obama's ATF rejected this argument because it's simply not true. Federal law defines a machine gun, or a fully automatic weapon, as, quote, any weapon which shoots, is designed to shoot, or can be readily restored to shoot automatically more than one shot without manual reloading by a single function of the trigger. But that's not how a bump stock works. On a semi-automatic weapon, you have to actuate the trigger for each shot fired. On a fully automatic weapon, as long as you keep the trigger compressed, more than one shot can be fired for each trigger pull. A bump stock does not change the function of a semi-automatic weapon and convert it to a fully automatic weapon in that technical sense. You still only release 1 round for each trigger pull. The bump stock just makes the trigger pull quicker than you can do with just your own muscles. But a bump stock does not convert a semi-automatic weapon to an automatic weapon by the definition in federal law. Number 3, this reason builds on reason number 2. Congress has the exclusive right to make new laws, not the executive branch. If Congress wants to pass a bill that redefines a machine gun or bans bump stocks, go ahead and try. That's your jurisdiction. But the executive branch cannot redefine something that's codified into our law to suit their purposes. This bump stock ban is essentially inventing a definition different than current law, which is inventing a new law. That is unconstitutional. And where does this end? We had a millennial named Max McGuire on our show this week who had 3D printed his own bump stock. He was then forced to cut it into 5 different pieces to destroy it, or else risk being charged with a felony. He told us it was harder to destroy than to make. Do you think criminals are going to comply with this law? When have criminals ever complied with laws? The people who do comply are law-abiding citizens who are being punished for a crime they did not commit. And again, where does this end? If the federal government, the executive branch, can redefine anything without statutes from Congress, doesn't that put AR-15s or all semi-automatic weapons at risk if and when we get a president, a Democratic president, who does not respect our right to keep and bear arms and wants to take away our guns? Bump stocks may not seem like a big deal to ban, but this is, make no mistake, a sad day for the Second Amendment. And that is my final point.